Welcome to Coach's Corner with Jay, featuring the Knowles head coach, Jay Sarcosta, and our host, Lance LaFollette.
For your convenience and peace of mind, AmeriDrive by Stark offers teen driver education in these locations: Woodsfield, St. Clairsville, Wintersville, Martins Ferry, New Philadelphia, Marietta, Harrison Central, and Buckeye Local. 3 weeks of classroom study is held on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday evenings. State licensed and certified by the Ohio Department of Public Safety, AmeriDrive has been teaching teens and adults to drive for 20 years. 8 hours of one-on-one behind-the-wheel instruction is scheduled at convenient times. Call AmeriDrive by Stark at 1-800-YOU-DRIVE-2. No matter what the weather is, you can work out year-round at Transforming Physiques. For your convenience, new owner Kristen Rossiter has extended the hours. Students have the opportunity to work out before school, after school, or on Saturdays. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, come out at 6 a.m. and get your exercise in before going to work. Adult, student, and family memberships are available. They now have 2 tanning beds and stock the best of tanning supplies. Stop out to see a large variety of sports drinks, diet bars, supplements, vitamins, and sports attire. Now is the time to start transforming your physique.
Good evening and welcome to Coach's Corner. Week 3 is in the books and the Seminoles stand at 3-0. Went to River this past week and escaped, I guess would be the word to use, Coach. 21-0. You look at the score and looks like we had an easy time, but it was anything but that as River put a game fight on.
That's for sure, Lance, and I didn't expect it to be easy, and I think you can see just exactly what happens whenever people kind of surmise it because of a team doesn't have a good record that it's going to be easy, and that is exactly what happened. When people were out there on the street telling our young men that they're probably going to win 40 or 50 to nothing, and they kind of get that kind of mindset, as much as we try to tell them that's not going to be the case, you can see what can happen very easily, and we didn't play very well. In fact, it was kind of a mirror image of last year's game. We scored 13 points last year and struggled somewhat on offense. Didn't allow them to score as we did not allow them to score this year, but nonetheless, we didn't play the type of football we'd like to play, and I don't think we really got better from week number 2 to week number 3, even though we did win. But a win is a win, and we'll have to take it and go on just like you have to do it. Whether you win or lose, you have to get ready for your next opponent, and that's exactly what we have to do. But we got a lot of things that we have to iron out, a lot of things we've been working on. Number one, I was not pleased in the fact that I think we had 7 penalties, a couple of them totally uncalled for. We had a roughing the kicker, which is absolutely uncalled for. And we just kind of dug ourselves. We had a late hit. We dug ourselves a lot of holes that, a good football team doesn't do that type of thing. And this just goes to show you what can happen at any level. I mean, you take, I know most people are aware of what happened at Ohio Stadium last Saturday. They had an opponent coming in that no one expected to be much of a match, and they were lucky to get out with a win. And in fact, they didn't score a touchdown on offense. So it doesn't make any difference whether you're Monroe Central or Ohio State, the defending national champions. You've got to play every week if you expect to win. And we have to get better each week, and we didn't get better last week. So we got to work on those things and get those things straightened out. We had a lot of missed assignments. We're fortunate we got some plays off when we did because of the missed assignments we had. We just didn't do the job that we're capable of doing, and we have to be better this coming week.
Well, one of the things that we noticed when you pick up a program, and you'll notice it every week probably, is we're going to be outsized on that offensive line, defensive line, and that was the case this week. And when you're outsized as bad as we were and the intensity's not there, that's not good news. And you used a timeout last week right away, actually after the first play of the River offensive when they took over. Is that what you addressed?
Well, trying to get their attention to make them realize that they're going to have to wake up and play football or else it's going to be a very, very long night. And they ripped off a pretty good gain on the first play from scrimmage. They had a couple pretty good plays, and then we kind of settled down. And overall, other than that, we had a couple blown coverages where we allowed them to get guys wide open. And fortunately for us, they didn't hook up on those passes, or that could have spelled some big problems for us. But other than that, we played pretty sound defensively. We didn't let them score, and that's good. We did not give up much yardage overall, 100 yards, 107 yards total offense, which is a good defensive output. But we just made some mistakes, and we didn't look as sharp as we needed to look, and we just tried to get their attention early on to make them realize how important this is. Because if you let one get away, it can cost you down the road, and you don't want that to be the case.
You bring up the fact that they had a couple guys open in the passing game. That was probably one of the big question marks for us, was going to be the passing game for the Seminoles this year. Josh coming in, new to his position, used to catching the ball, not throwing it. Our game is normally run, and that wasn't there early in the game, and the pass actually helped us out quite a bit this week.
It sure did, Lance. That's something that we have to continue to work on, because a lot of people realize that we're going to try to run the football first, and we have to be able to set the pass up and be able to pass off the run in order to be successful, because people are going to continue to load up on us. We're going to see 6, 7, 8-man fronts, in fact, sometimes maybe 9-man fronts, and they're going to try to stop the run. So we're going to have to do some things to kind of loosen them up a little bit, and I was real pleased. Josh had a nice game. He threw for 107 yards and a touchdown, and completed a couple big ones to Kenny to get us in field position to score. Kenny made some super catches, and Sam Miller made an excellent catch in the quarter of the end zone. But I was pleased with the fact that we did throw the ball a little bit maybe better than what people anticipated us to throw the ball. And as you mentioned, River's a big football team, and they had a lot of size inside, and sometimes it's a little difficult to move those people to get the running game going, that we're going to have to throw a little bit to loosen them up. But I think the big key is when you're outsized, which as you mentioned we're going to be in most cases, you got to come off the football and you got to beat them to the punch if you're going to be successful.
Okay. Well, one of those linemen that we count on every week is one of our guests this week. We'll be right back with number 70, Robbie Dimmerling.
New name, same great service. Ormat Credit Union is now Ohio Valley Community Credit Union. Visit us in our new facility in Hannibal, built with more convenient parking and easier drive-through. If you live, work, or attend school in Belmont or Monroe counties, you are eligible for membership in the Ohio Valley Community Credit Union. To serve you better, we also have locations in St. Clairsville and Clarington. Ohio Valley Community Credit Union. Community is our middle name. For over 100 years, Bauer Turner Furniture has been serving our community with quality furniture and bedding. After a big day, kick back and relax in a dual recliner sofa, or choose from living room suites featuring couches with comfy armchairs or matching recliners. Then pick the perfect coffee table and tables and lamp to suit your personality. Of course, they stock bedroom furniture to please the country, traditional, or contemporary decorator. Kitchen tables and chairs, hutches, entertainment centers, and more can be delivered to your home this week. So stop by Bauer Turner Furniture today.
We're back with number 70, Robbie Dimmerling. Robbie's one of a long line of excellent football players from the Dimmerling family. Robbie, Coach and I talked, I'm sure you heard, we were talking about the size of River, compared to you probably weigh, neighborhood of 180 pounds?
Yeah.
You sometimes have to use that to an advantage if you can. What do you try to do from that standpoint?
I always try to use my quickness, and I don't have very much strength against these big guys. Quickness and technique is what we got to use. Last year you played on the offense most of the time, didn't get a lot of chance at defense. This year you're playing defensive end, which has a lot of responsibility. You've got contain and other things. How do you like that transition? I like it a lot better than on offense or defense. Then I can get to put the hits on people, and it's pretty easy. But you just got to contain the outside, and there's a lot of responsibility that a defensive end has.
Coach, there's a lot of, you can see it on the field. He's got a lot of intensity, and Robbie's a fun guy to watch play, especially when we got things going. Great to have another Dimmerling around it.
It sure is, Lance. And you mentioned coming from a long line of tough, hard-nosed football players in the Dimmerling family. Have all been excellent young men and played extremely hard, and Robbie's no different. He gives you everything he has, as you mentioned. As linemen go, he's not real big, but he does possess a lot of things that you like in a lineman, and quickness and hard nose and that type of thing is a lot of things that he does well. Offensively, Robbie probably had more experience on the offensive side of the ball, but defensively is where we were a little concerned. In fact, I kind of asked myself a lot of times, do we have Robbie playing out of position? I wasn't sure just exactly what position that we wanted to play him. We played him at defensive end last year, and I thought about moving him to another position Although he could play a middle guard position, probably not as big for a down tackle. I looked at a lot of those. We even thought about a linebacker, and he probably could play there. But we stuck with him at defensive end, and he's starting to, I think, feel a little more comfortable and a little more at home at that position, and he's starting to make some big plays for us. And as I've told most of the guys that played defensive end for us, that's not an easy position to learn, and it's not an easy position to play, but once you learn how to play it, it's kind of a fun position. You have an opportunity to do a little, get some sacks on the quarterback, and take away a lot of things that maybe the offense tries to do. But Robbie's done a good job, and I think he'll continue to make some big plays for us, and he'll continue to improve, especially at that defensive end position. This past week, he had a little guy over top of him when he was on offense. That guy weighed about 290, 95 pounds. So, even though you're aggressive and whatever, it's kind of hard sometimes to move those big guys out of there. But that's the case, and he's used to that. He's used to playing over top of people that are bigger than him. And, as you see, we've done thus far, usually when we play a 40, you'll see Robbie line up at a guard offensively. We play a team that's going to play a 50, we'll probably put him at tackle. So we play a lot of teams that play 40, so you'll probably see him at guard a good bit offensively. And like I say, I think you'll see him continue to make some big plays defensively, but he is really a plus to have, both offensively and defensively.
Okay, Robbie, well, 3-0 start. It's your senior year. You can't ask for a better start. Things haven't been easy yet, but keep hanging in there and keep us going.
All right, thanks.
We're going to take a quick break and come back with number 81, David Spielman, right after this.
FW Shoemaker Insurance Agency celebrating 100 years of service to our community. FW Shoemaker is an independent agency representing many reputable companies for all of your insurance needs. Only the most professional agencies represent Westfield Insurance. The best of the best are recognized as Westfield Platinum agencies, and FW Shoemaker is proud to be a Platinum agency. FW Shoemaker Insurance and the Monroe Central Seminoles, two winning traditions.
We're back with number 81, David Spielman. Position-wise, he's what we'll call a specialist because he has somehow taken over the punter's job this year, which everyone thought was wrapped up by another player. He's on the kickoff team, does a great job there, and he's in the wings there on the offensive at wide out, defensive back. David, first of all, tell me the punting situation. I asked you if you kicked in junior high, and you said you hadn't. How is it that you've been the punter now?
Well, in conditioning, I started kicking, and I didn't have much technique, and then Coach Shue helped me a little bit, and he worked with my technique and stuff, and I was kicking the ball pretty good, and Gabe hurt his knee, and I had to go in and do the job.
Things have worked out from there, so tell you what, you just never know, I guess. Kickoff team, I see you in there all the time. You've made several plays this year. Tell me what your responsibility is there.
Well, I'm a 2, and I keep contained. I break down, and the 1s go down and break the wall, and then it's the 2s the next, so I pretty much keep my lane and make sure the runner doesn't get by me.
1, breaking the wedge, that's what do you call those guys, hard heads? Or,
yeah.
And then the headhunters, is there a position you'd rather have, or are you okay with that number 2 position?
Yeah, I'd like to be a headhunter, but you got to do you got to do what you can do, and so I'm 2. So.
Well, every one of those is important, Coach. And we've seen time and time in the past how punting game's important. You want to pin the team back. If you can't get a first down, you got to kick it away. You want to get him as far as you can. He's done a heck of a job.
Well, that's exactly right. And, you talk about 1s and 2s on the kickoff. Well, David was a 2 as far as a punter. He was a backup punter to Gabe Gordon. And as he mentioned, Gabe sustained a little knee injury. He kind of hyperextended his knee early on. And it doesn't bother him that much to run, but it does bother him somewhat to kick. And so that's how we decided to put David in there. And we took a good look at David, and he just continued to improve. As he said, he started punting in the preseason and the conditioning drills, and then he just got better and better as far as our two-a-day practices were concerned. There's still some things he has to work on. We talked about those things. He's still taking that little hitch step in there. He's got to get that out of there, and he still needs to work on extension of the leg and trying to get a little more hang time, a little deeper ball, but he's got a lot of potential there, and I think he'll continue to grow. And basically, David is a young player, even though he's a junior, he's a young player that hasn't had a lot of varsity experiences, just now starting to grow and mature and come into his own. And, as you mentioned, we use him on the special teams, on the kickoff team, and David has, been doing a nice job in last couple reserve games, and I think he'll continue to get better. And, you may see him out there. He's had some spot play. He hasn't caught any passes yet on the varsity level, but he's had some spot play and been in and out of there, and we continue to want to gain him some experience to be able to step in there and do that. So it just goes to show you that you're only maybe one play away from playing. And sometimes a guy that's not lining up as a starter offensively and defensively maybe doesn't think that he's that maybe important and it's that close to being able to play. But here's a case where, like I say, Dave was our number 2 punter, and now he's our number 1 punter, and he's done a nice job. He almost pinned one in the corner against River. He got a nice kick there, and the ball just went in the end zone. Looked like it might take a roll and go out on the 1-yard line. But, he comes, from his brother was an excellent football player for us, played defensive end. And so I think David's going to, kind of blossom here soon, and he's going to play a lot of football for us.
Okay. Well, David, I stand around the sidelines and talk and go to the reserve games and you listen, see what's going on, and a lot of good comments as far as got a great set of hands and doing a real nice job in those games. There's not any chance you're going to play center next year, is there?
I hope not.
Hey, keep up the good work. Keep doing what you're doing because, like Coach said, one play away, buddy. So hang in there. Keep us going 4-0 this week.
All right.
We're going to take a quick break and look at some highlights right after this.
Hi, I'm Bill Reesbeck. You heard me talk many times about how we offer you the best variety at the best possible price every day. And we do it with no cards, no gimmicks, no hassle. Just like you, we're working to get the most we can for the money we spend. So if these things are important to you, come home to Reesbeck's. We'll even add customer service as we continue what Grandma started over 70 years ago.
Since 1887, folks have trusted Woodsfield Savings Bank with their financial needs. So when you need someone to lead you with your financial decisions, come to the friendly folks at Woodsfield Savings Bank where customers count. Because of your busy schedule, we offer a drive-through and night deposit box, as well as convenient parking, direct deposit, and automatic payments. The folks at Woodsfield Savings Bank truly believe that making an investment in our kids brings the biggest return to our community.
Go Mo!
Coach, the River game started out bright enough. Aaron Brown brought the kickoff back, clearing almost to the 50-yard line.
Well, we had a couple blocks, but didn't do all that great of a job, but Aaron did an excellent job. He got the ball across the 40-yard line and set us up in excellent field position.
Have David Spielman on here. He punted almost 40 yards, but the neat thing is almost went out at the 1, Coach.
Yeah, this is the one that rolled just into the end zone. David's kicking, left-footed, of course, and kicking to that left sideline, and just bounced in the end zone, almost got him pinned in on the 1-yard line.
Here the Seminole D throws the River receiver for a big loss.
Yeah, a lot of people here doing a good job defensively. Good pressure by Ryan Ferguson, 25, and 55, Curtis Merrick, and then number 70 on our show tonight, Robbie Dimmerling, doing an excellent job reading that and making the tackle.
Here Gabe Gordon picks up 20-plus yards around left end.
Well, Gabe makes something out of nothing here, Lance. You'll see him go off the left side, and there's really absolutely nothing there. He'll bounce it out, keep his feet moving, takes it outside, and picks up a nice game. Here he uses some speed to turn the corner. He did fumble the football, but fortunately it was out of bounds.
For 11, Josh Ishii goes for 11 around right in for a first down.
We're just trying to keep here, lead our backs over to the right, and Josh keeps outside, gets a nice block right there, and turns the corner and picks up some nice yardage.
Get to see Ishii run the ball now. You get to see him throw the ball.
Here we go with the trips to the right side, and Josh will roll to the right, and he finds Kenny Robinson, who is right there to go up and concentrate and catch the ball, and picks up a big first down for us and gets us real close in the scoring position.
After a couple tries, Gabe Gordon finally punches it in for the first Seminole touchdown.
The River defense was stubborn down here and made it difficult for us to get it in, but here Gabe takes it off the left side and takes it in the end zone for a touchdown.
We talked about the kicking game last week. Curtis Merrick, a perfect 3 for 3 this week.
And how important these kicks are, and Curtis booms through the first of 3 kicks on the night. Did a fine job. Along with being able to, or having a good kick, you got to have a good snap and a good placement, which we had. Snap by Chris Jeffers and placement by Josh Ishii, and Curtis boomed it through.
Robert Dimmerling makes another tackle on the kickoff, but watch Dudek.
Yeah, watch number 49. He gets the first hit. He busts the wedge, and then Robbie Dimmerling comes in and grabs him high and shakes him to the ground. So great job by both Derek Dudek and Robbie Dimmerling.
Senior Sean 80, number 72, tackles the river ball carrier in the backfield.
Well, something they had success with in previous games, they ran a little draw, and we worked on that quite a bit. And you'll see right here, Sean 80, number 72, did an excellent job staying at home and reading that draw, and he was right there all over the ball carrier.
Number 86, Kenny Robinson, comes up with another spectacular catch. Big gain for the Noles.
Now here we're deep in our own territory, and Josh and Kenny hook up with a big play that gets us out of the hole. Here you'll see Josh fake to the right and get the ball up in the air, and Kenny does an excellent job with the receiver pretty close on him, does a nice job of concentrating on the ball and come up with a big catch.
Kenny Robinson had a great catch on the last highlight. This one by Sam Miller's got to be tops.
Super catch by Sam Miller. We line up in a slot right, and we give play action. Josh rolls to his left. He stops and sets up and throws the ball to Sam. Sam makes an excellent catch, juggling the ball with his left hand and pulling it in for a touchdown.
We don't show a lot of PAT highlights, but this one by Curtis Merrick just shows the improvement.
Again, Curtis does a nice job here, keeps his head down, falls through, and splits the uprights and puts it up on top of the building. It bounces back.
Coach, a week ago on the show, we discussed the kicking game and how we need a little more deep in the kicks. Curtis does a nice job here.
Well, I talked about we got Curtis a new kicking shoe, and I think he's starting to get a little more comfortable with it, but here he punches one down to about the 5 and it bounces in the end zone, which is a great weapon to have, because anytime you start a team at their 20, that makes them go a little bit further and makes them get a few more first downs, so that's a great field position.
Number 44, Gabe Gordon, in for the quarterback sack.
Excellent job of blitzing here by Gabe from his linebacker position, puts a lot of pressure on the quarterback and grabs a hold of him and throws him down for a big loss.
Dan Miller on the pass rush gets the quarterback pretty quick.
Here Dan, after Gabe made a big sack, Dan gets into the sack act, and he gets help from backside end, number 70, Robbie Dimmerling. Both of them are there along with Curtis Merrick.
David Spielman, punting from nearest goal line, gets the Seminoles out of a hole.
Deep in our own territory here, David comes up with a good kick and gets us out of the hole. And the nice thing about it, we didn't really have any return on this. We had good coverage downfield, so a good kick and good coverage puts them in business at about the 40.
Fourth quarter action here, the Seminole defense starting to stiffen.
Well, basically, they're trying to run an end around here, bringing Whitlatch back, but we get penetration and kind of mess that up. And we got guys all around the ball in there, Dan Miller, Robbie Dimmerling, and Boner can't go anywhere.
Seminoles lead 14-0 at this point in the game. Josh Ishii intercepts at the goal line and brings it back.
No, they get good field position here, and they try to throw the football back to the left. And Boner steps up and cuts it loose, and Josh is right there to make a grab. We have two defenders right there around the receiver, and he makes a nice return on top of it.
Gabe Gordon goes around left end for big yardage.
Real nice run here by Gabe to the left. We'll have a wing to that side, and Josh will pitch the ball back to Gabe, and we get a nice block there by Ryan Ferguson, one by Aaron Brown, and Gabe takes it downfield for a real nice pickup.
Aaron Brown takes the ball into the end zone from about 10 yards out.
Here Brownie does a nice job cutting back. He'll go off the right side here after the belly series, and then take a nice cut right back there to the left and take it in the end zone for a touchdown.
Curtis Merrick, true on the extra point again.
Third good placement by Curtis on the evening. Here he drills this one It's a good thing it hit the wire above, it dropped down, or I think that thing would have gone even further.
It's time now for my Citizens National Bank Play of the Week.
People do run on the wide side of the field. Second down. Ishii wants to throw again. Stops, going deep for the corner of the end zone. Contact. Nice catch. Nice catch. I'll tell you what. That is a beautiful catch. Beautiful. I think that is Sam Miller on the reception.
The Citizens National Bank of Woodsfield, home-owned and independently operated since 1933. Your community bank. Our officers, directors, and staff are dedicated to customer and community service. We reinvest your deposit dollars locally. So remember, banking with us is not only good for you, but it's good for your community. Citizens National Bank of Woodsfield. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Going to take a quick break and come back and look at this week's opponent, the Caldwell Redskins.
I'm not buying till I checked on Ford.
When it comes to the regular maintenance of your Ford, Lincoln, or Mercury, come to the service department at Doane Ford. From oil changes and brake work to alignments and major repairs, the service department at Doane's has state-of-the-art equipment and factory-trained technicians to keep you on the road. And for all types of body work, remember, Doane Ford's Collision Center is a direct repair shop for all major insurance companies.
I'm not buying till I checked on Ford.
Seminoles travel to Caldwell this week to take on the Redskins 0-3, so at a first look, you armchair quarterbacks out there are going to be saying 42-0 again this week, and Coach, it's got to be a nightmare to prepare again.
Well, we're faced with a lot the same this week as we were last week, Lance. As you mentioned, we're going against a team that is 0-3. Last week, they were 0-2, and we try to impress upon our young men that you can't look at records. Any team can beat any other team on any given night, and it's who comes to play. And we've got to come to play, and we've got to be in a better positive mental attitude than we were last week, and we have to block out the fact that this team is 0-3. When you look at it, number one, they've lost to 3 good football teams. They lost to Crooksville 25-6 in game 1. Crooksville is now 3-0, undefeated. They lost to Buckeye Trail, who was our first week opponent, 24-7, and we all know that Buckeye Trail has a nice football team. And then this past week, they lost to Barnesville 22-7, but in that game, they led 7-0 at half, and they led 8-7 into the fourth quarter. So, they haven't made it easy for any of their first 3 opponents, and I'm sure they're going to make it easy for us. We're going to have to make it easier for ourselves by getting out and getting after them and doing the job. But we are kind of impressed with, even though they're 0-3, we're impressed with some of the people they possess. They have offensively, they have some speed. They got a guy that we can't let loose, or he's going to go the distance because he's got outstanding speed, probably faster than anybody that we have. They can do some things offensively that we need to be concerned about. Defensively, they're very aggressive, and their front 8 people are pretty sound and do a real nice job and play extremely hard. So we're going to have our hands full again. We got to go over there, and we got to be ready to play.
I guess the first thing we want to talk about is personnel. You mentioned the speed. That has to be the laser boy, but they've got a quarterback with some experience now, and I'm guessing their line's probably going to be as big or not, if not bigger than ours again.
Yeah, well, they're a team that struggled last year, Lance, and they have a lot of kids back that took some bumps last year, so they've grown up and they're a lot more experienced, and they're a lot better football team this year than they were last year, but they're still relatively young. They only have 2 seniors on that starting offensive team. They have 7 juniors and 2 sophomores. So they're probably, from the type of team that they'd like to have, maybe a year away, but that's the type of team that can jump up and get you just about any week, no matter who the opponent is. As you mentioned, their quarterback is Kent Radcliffe. He's a junior. He's 6'1", 165, number 13. Actually, the quarterback that was scheduled to start for them this year was a young man by the name of Shaw that they moved in there last year from a wide receiver and did a nice job, but he was academically ineligible, as I understand, so they moved Radcliffe in there, and he continues to improve. Up on the front line, Matt Ogle, a junior, number 56, 5'10", 200. Their guard, Sean Duvall, a senior, one of the 2 seniors on the starting offense, 5'10", 170, number 62, and Joe Smith, the other guard, a junior, 5'9", 195, number 61. The tackles are Chase Garvin, 6 foot 220, number 52, a junior, and the other senior, number 50, Brad Pierce, 6 foot 200 pounds. He's number 50. The tight end is a kid that they like to go to, Michael Jeffrey. He's 6'2", 205, nice size sophomore. And the other wide receiver is Michael Bettinger, 6'4", another nice size kid, 195, number 80 at that other wide receiver. In the backfield, along with Radcliffe, are the fullback Corey Archer, a junior, number 34, 6 foot 200 pounds. Zeb Hallowell, he's a sophomore, 5'9", 155, number 12. They like to run him on the reverses or the counters. And number 88, their speed guy, is a junior, Brian Lazier, 5'11", 160. And you know from track, Lance, that he's got excellent speed, and we have to try to contain him, and they like to go to him. He's been their big go-to guy as far as their rushing is concerned, and they can also throw the ball to him. So we have to make sure that we contain him and not allow them to get him out in the open.
Okay. Well, you go through there, a lot of 200-plus pound guys in there, and looking at ours, there aren't a whole lot of them, so probably going to be outsized again. From the defensive side, we've talked a lot about 4-man fronts and 5-man fronts. What can we expect from Caldwell this week?
Well, probably an 8 or 9-man front. Again, to try to stop our run, they're going to have a lot of people up tight, close to the ball. They're basically a 40 defense. That's their base defense. Once in a while, they may be in a 50, but even in their 40, they're going to crowd people up again, give us the same look. They only start one senior on defense, and that senior is one of their linebackers, number 62, Sean Duvall. He's 5'10", 170. They start 6 juniors, 3 sophomores, and a freshman. Their down tackles, Chase Garvin, one of their offensive tackles, and then Jason Ramage, a 6 foot 225 pound freshman at the other down tackle, number 74. Corey Archer, their fullback, and their tight end, Michael Jeffrey, are their 2 defensive ends. Outside linebackers, Trey Shell and Brian Lazier. The other inside linebackers, Joe Smith. And then in the secondary is Travis Thompson, Kent Radcliffe, and Zeb Hallowell. So a lot of the same faces, the same guys, same numbers you'll see on offense, you'll see on defense. But there again, I was really impressed when I looked at them on tape at their down people and their linebackers. I thought they were pretty aggressive.
Okay. Historically, Caldwell has never been an easy place for us to go over and play. I can remember even when I played, you went to Caldwell, you were given a good ball game, and they always had a good crowd. And it's been a tough place to play.
Yeah, it sure has, Lance. The fairgrounds is kind of a little different atmosphere over there, but it is a tough place to play, and we're going to have to be ready to play when we get over there rather than wait until we get there and try to get ourselves ready.
Well, that's it. You dress clear up on the hill. You sit around there. You don't see the field. You don't get fired up. Next thing you know, the game started, and you're ready or not.
Yeah, that's what I say about the atmosphere of the fairgrounds. In fact, we dress here, and if the weather's going to be okay, we usually dress here and then bus over and then come right back and shower here, because by the time you get from the field back to the high school and fight the traffic, you can be halfway home. But as you mentioned, there's really not much in the way of dressing facilities over there, and you're up over the hill and all those things you take into consideration. But we talked to our kids at the beginning of the week after the situation that we were confronted with at River, and we told them they have to start getting ready on Tuesday rather than waiting till Friday to get ready.
Okay. Well, that's tomorrow night, folks. 7:30 kickoff, out Route 78, about a half hour. Important that we get over there, too, as far as fans go, and get behind these guys. Give us one more break here. We're going to come back and wrap things up, tell you what's going on.
From a deck to a complete house, Woodsfield True Value has the lumber and building materials for contractors or do-it-yourselfers. Before you go out of town, bring your plans into Troy and Mike for a free estimate. We think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Delivery is available for your project materials, too. From lumber and siding to shingles, windows, insulation, and cabinets, Woodsfield True Value is your source for building materials and building packages. So give Troy or Mike a call today at Woodsfield True Value. McDonald's of Woodsfield is not just great food and lots of fun, it's a vital part of our community. Perla and Dell strongly believe in supporting our kids, both in school and in extracurricular activities. That's why McDonald's is proud to be the exclusive halftime sponsor for the Monroe Central Seminoles. They're happy to support our players, our cheerleaders, and our band. After the game, celebrate at McDonald's of Woodsfield, where we love to make you smile.
Okay, well, first off, we have the winners of the sideliner board last week. Scott Joris took away the first quarter win. Mike Cox, and John Kaiser were the other winners in order. So congratulations to them. Coach, you and I mentioned briefly last week the 200 Club, and got a report this past Tuesday from Mr. Longwell, who takes care of a lot of that. We're at 10%, so well underway.
Yeah, already got 20 in. We're hoping that that climbs, to get the first 100 in is always the first plateau, and then go from there. So again, those people that haven't renewed yet, we'd encourage them to do so, and anybody that wants to get in, there's always room for you. So just let somebody know and we'll get you in.
Okay. The game will be on 104.9 radio, which is out of Caldwell, Cambridge. I don't think you can pick that up here, so you're going to need to get in your car and come over to the game Friday night. See firsthand, we could use the support. Now, weather can't be an excuse this week because you have the roof over your head.
That's true. It's a good place for a fan to watch a game, Lance, in terms of if it happened to be bad weather. But, we hope we do have a nice turnout. We had an excellent turnout down at River this past week. In fact, from what I saw, I don't usually, see much of the crowd, but what I saw on the tape afterwards, it looked like we had more people there than what they did, and hopefully that'll be a case again this week. We always do have a real good following, and that means a lot. So we encourage everybody to get out and cheer for the young men, especially cheer extra loud whenever they have the ball.
Exactly. Well, if you can't make the game, we'll have it replayed at 11 a.m. Saturday morning here on TV6, so join us for that if you don't happen to make it over. Coach, good luck again this week. Keep things going.
Well, thanks, Lance. It's going to be another big challenge for our young men, and hopefully they can rise to the occasion.
Okay. Well, like we said, everyone, get over there and cheer us on. Good night, everyone.